Welcome to Ripple Impact. Our guest today, a woman empowerment coach, will be speaking to us all the way from California in the US. She cares so much about people that she literally paused her dreams and aspirations to helping others fulfill theirs. I am so excited to introduce Stephanie Hyde. Stephanie Hyde is a Jack Canfield certified coach of the Success Principles, the founder of the Facebook community Reclaim Your Path and Power for Women Over 40. She helps women who have compromised their own happiness to make sure everyone else was happy to get unstuck, clear on their path, and ready for their next adventure. She understands how hard it can be for women that do it all. She is on a mission to help women connect and support each other. Stephanie has had her share of bullying from women and wants to help women connect, support, and lift each other because she believes together we are stronger. Welcome, Stephanie, to Ripple Impact.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so excited to have you on this show today. And I just want to start by asking you this pertinent question. How did you come about becoming a women empowerment coach? Please tell us about that journey.
Yeah, thank you for asking, Abraham. So I was a career person. I was in the corporate America, and in my youth, that's what I did. I was in several corporations, and I was just participating in big teams, and I loved it very much. I found myself getting married, having a baby, and moving to a ranch in the middle of nowhere. And in the process, my husband started a business. And my purpose, like I always, in my dreams, I could not wait to be a mother. That at one point was my purpose. I knew very, 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 very clearly that I wanted to be a mom. And even when I dated, if I dated a man, I would ask him, do you want to have kids? And if he said, no, I said, keep moving. Because it was really clear. It was a really, really important thing to me, and I wasn't going to miss it. So I found myself on a ranch in the middle of nowhere, and I was mom. I loved it. But at one point, I was working my corporate career, helping my husband start the business, and a mom. So it was like 3 full-time jobs. Oh. It was hard. So when I got laid off from my corporate job, I was almost a little bit relieved. So I just dove in and helped my husband create his business and had my daughter. And I did that. And maybe I can say that I wasn't as fulfilled as I should be in my work career, but I needed to be there for her. And I wanted to be there for her because I wanted to be mom. I didn't want to miss anything. So I have no regrets about that. But in the process, it was very unfulfilling for my career. And there was some bullying that went on. And I just thought, this is wrong. This is just wrong. But the whole time I had this calling. There was a calling. You know how it kind of whispers at first and it just gets stronger and stronger and stronger, that I was supposed to help people. But I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't know what that was, but I just couldn't ignore it. And I just started to listen to the calling.
Wow.
So I dove in and I knew I was supposed to help people. So I found Jack Canfield. I did his training and I loved it. And then I wasn't quite sure what to do next, who I was supposed to help. So I found a gentleman named Jake Ballantyne. He has the Speakers, Authors, and Coaches Network. And I started working with him, and I just was a little tiny lost. I wasn't sure what my path would be and what my new purpose was, because I think your purpose changes your whole life. And so I just really got quiet, and I thought about what I love to do. I thought about what my superpowers were, what I was really good at. And I thought about what activities that I did that I could just totally lose track of time in. Mm-hmm. And that really helped me a lot. And then I didn't want to admit it, but I needed help. I needed help. I thought, well, I'm a smart person. I've been in corporate America. I know how to do things, but I needed a coach to help me get to my next steps.
Wow. Inspiring. You know, there is one thing about getting a coach. You mentioned Jake Ballantyne. Jake Ballantyne is such a fine man. He's been very, very helpful bringing up, you know, aspiring coaches. Yes. I have met him virtually, not in person. And I know he's doing a very good work out there under his community, where he has authors, coaches, and speakers. Yes. So Jake Ballantyne has been doing a great job. And like you said, you had that inspiration in mind that you are supposed to be helping people, but you did not know how to go about it until a coach came into your life. You now have clear direction. But you know, it's ironical because you made mention in your bio about being experiencing bullying. Here is someone who is experiencing bullying, and she's having in her thought or in her mind that she's supposed to be helping people. How does that work? So please, can you just tell us a little bit about your bullying experience and how you came out of it to still be able to help people? Because I know when you're being bullied, you lose self-confidence. But there you are, being bullied, but you're still thinking about helping people when you haven't really helped yourself in that situation. Please tell us a little bit about that experience.
Well, it's part of the reason that pushed me to work with women. When I went to Jake, I was like, so this is the pain I'm in, and I need to help people. And it turns out my mess is my message, right? I'm a woman over 40, and I got stuck and I got off path. And we're sometimes more off path than we are on path. We get off path a lot, but just don't stay there. Come back on path. Do what feels right. Do what's right for you. But the bullies, they absolutely had everything to do with why I'm here now, right? Because, and so now that I'm here and I'm helping women, I almost want to thank them. I want to thank them for making or trying to make me so miserable and just acting the way that they did. And, you know, when you're in the middle of it, it's really hard. But I realized women, it's hard. You know, women will withhold information from you because they think it makes them stronger. They'll send you daggers and look, and it's all about being insecure, right?
Yes.
All about playing games and being insecure. And if you're a secure woman and we help each other, that's what it's all about, because together we women are stronger.
Absolutely.
Have to, like, and here's how I deal with it. I want to help women, and I'm going to be there for them, and I'm going to support them, and I'm going to encourage them, and I'm going to share information with them, and I'm going to love on them. Wow. And we should all do. But you're going to run into women that aren't like that, right? It's okay. You're not my people. Move on. That's it. And the big takeaway for me was, by me living my best life, that's it. Remember how when we are younger, some of us, and you fall in love, and you're in that zone of love where there's nothing that can change your mood. There's nothing that can take you down. It's the same thing about living your best life. If you live your best life, someone can cut you off and you just send them peace and love.
Wow.
Right? It's about living your best life, living what's true for you, and then nothing can change that bliss mode, that really good mode that you're in, because you're doing what you love.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's quite true. You know, one thing I realized is the fact that the bullies, they are empowered when they find out that you are vulnerable to their actions. When they see that you're able to stand up for yourself, or you are able to stand up against them, they stay away from you. So,
well, you know,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I tried everything. I tried being reasonable. I tried being nice, and I was not nice. I got right back in their face. Nothing worked. Nothing. So at some point, you just have to get out. I'm out. There were times when I knew I would see the bullies, and I would put a protective suit on me. It's invisible, where nothing was going to penetrate me. And that's how I had to do it. That's how I had to get through it.
Stephanie, just for the purpose of our viewers, for them to really understand, because we have the impression that bullying happens mostly in schools, high schools, right? And as the case may be, and sometimes in the universities. So is there the possibility that bullying can also happen outside the school? You know,
absolutely.
So tell us some of the places that, you know, people can experience bullying, and using your experience as one of the, one of the guides for people to know, so people can be watchful and be careful about that.
You know what? Bullying can happen anywhere, absolutely anywhere. It can happen in the workplace. It can happen in your friends group. It can happen in the grocery store. It can happen anywhere. It's your responsibility to do the best you can for yourself. You would think it would only happen when you're younger and when we don't know, right? Because I think that in high school and grade school, you don't know yet, but as an adult, you should know. And so many times my daughter would come to me with problems, and I would have the same problems she had.
Oh my God.
And it was quite the conversation in our household. And so we tried different things over and over. We just tried different things to see what worked. Sometimes it worked temporarily, and sometimes not.
So depending on the environment where it's happening, for instance, if it's happening in school, it's important to report the issue to perhaps the class teacher or the school authority. And if it's happening at the workplace, what happens if this person happens to be your immediate supervisor bullying you? Of course, I know workplaces have their policies and they have their procedures. So, but I think in every situation it's important to report to the appropriate authorities so that actions could be taken, because there could be an unending bullying on a person and the person doesn't know what to do next. It could lead to something else, right?
Yes,
so
absolutely. Absolutely. I highly suggest you tell somebody you trust. Don't do it alone. There are people, wonderful people out there, just like there are bullies, but you got to find somebody that you feel safe with, that you trust, tell them, and don't do it by yourself. It's too hard.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Stephanie, what does your group look like? The community that you created, where you're helping women over 40, what does it look like, and how does one qualify to be a member of that group? And tell us the name of the group.
Thank you. My group is called Reclaim Your Path and Power for Women Over 40. And it's for women that may have gotten a little lost along the way, maybe got off path, went all in. And we women tend to do this. We go all in. You know, I went all in working with my husband and my daughter, and I was doing everything from everybody else. And when you were on that hamster wheel, it's really hard. You're doing so many things, I kind of think of it like you're swimming in the water and you're treading water. And when you're just treading water, it's hard to dream. And so we women need to take the time for ourselves. We need to put ourselves first. Self-care is not selfish. We need to, like you're on an airplane, put the mask on us first so that we can take care of everybody else. And we need to do the things that fill our tanks. We can keep going and help the others. And we're important too. Our dreams and everything that we do and that we want, we're important too. And we can't ignore it, because if we do, we find ourselves really off path.
Wow. Interesting. So we need to take care of ourselves first before we think we can take care of others. Absolutely correct. You have to empower yourself. And I'm truly grateful you're doing what you're doing, empowering women, especially over 40. That there's a saying that life begins at 40. So when you get to 40 and you haven't really been doing what you are created to be doing, does not mean that you can never achieve that. So you can still start and be able to achieve and live the best life that you can live. Looking at all the things you have been doing, helping others, at some point you had to pause your dream literally to pursue or help others to achieve their dreams. What is a typical day like for you?
So my day starts at night. One thing that I really tell women, because and I'm guilty of this. Sometimes I just keep going and going because there's so much to do. But the most important thing is to start your morning routine at night and go to bed. And I know it's really hard, but your morning routine starts with going to bed on time so that we can get enough sleep, so we can heal our bodies, so that our brains and bodies, and we wake in the morning with a great attitude. And so I start my morning. I do not look at my phone because we can get sucked right in. First thing I do is work out, drink water, and just take a little quiet time for myself. For me, and I suggest this for everybody, find the 3 things that are most important to you and do them. So for me, sleep, workout, and good food. And then I know if I have that, that's my foundation. I know if I have those 3 things, I'm going to be much stronger and I'm going to respond to things differently, right? I'm going to respond better. I'm going to be in my zone. And if somebody cuts me off, it's going to be like, no problem, because I've got me. I've got those 3 things. If one of those are missing, sometimes I get a little teetered. So I suggest everybody find the 3 things that are really important to you to build that foundation, whether it's meditation, self-reflecting, reading a book, whatever it is. Set your foundation up in the morning.
Foundation is quite important. And the way you start your morning determines how you end the day, which is very, very important. You set your day on autopilot by planning the day and having the things that you need to do all in view. So by the time you begin to tackle the items or the 3 things in the order of priority, the day begins to go. And even if you had to shortcut the day or cut short the day, you find out that you've really achieved the things that are key to you for that day. Very good. You live in a ranch.
Yes.
Some of us have not been privileged to live in a ranch. Can you tell us what it feels like to live in a ranch? And I understand you do a retreat in that ranch. Please give us a little bit of information regarding that.
Yeah, so living on a ranch is different. It's beautiful, but there are differences between the city and the ranch. In the city, you might have loud music and neighbors. And the ranch, it's really quiet. We just had a baby calf born and it's so cute.
Oh, congratulations.
It's so cute. But we also don't have a lot of things when something goes wrong, like if water breaks or there's no mail, there's no trash service. and there are bears and snakes. Beautiful and serene and quiet. So it's just different, just different. It's really nice.
So you have a lot of space, you have a lot of fresh air, you have the serenity, but you also like certain things, because I understand you have to provide most things for yourself. You have to get your electricity, you need to get your own water and all of those, provide your trash to be picked up and all of those things that we enjoy in the city. So
Yes.
It means you can't always have it all, right? You give out some and you get some. So it all has to do with priority, right? What is more important to you? And yes, I think that is also very important for us to know what is more important to us, and we begin to do those things. So if you have to give our viewers advice regarding the experience you've had in life, what would be your advice for our viewers?
Oh gosh, there's so much. There's so much. So number one is really remember and think about what you like to do, because it changes in your life. So what you like to do at 40 or 50 or whatever age, it's different, but reconnect with that and do what makes you happy. Find out what it is and do more of it. And one of the things that we do at our retreats, the retreats are so much fun because we come together as women, we laugh, we learn, we support each other, we eat amazing food, we go on hikes, we do some yoga, but it's really all about connecting to what's important to you, right? And maybe you don't know, so just try things and find out what makes you happy. Find out what you can do when you lose all track of time. That's a clue. And you look up and 3 hours have passed. Do more of that, because it's so important to just be happy and find out what your purpose is and be amazing at that, and just move your life forward and try to be better tomorrow than you are today.
Thank you. You talked about finding out what your purpose is. How do you go about that? Because I found out that has been one of the most challenges that people have. They are not being able to say, well, this is what my purpose is. This is what I should be doing. You may have been fortunate to identify what you feel you want to be doing. That's helping people. Even though you don't know how to go about it, but at least you are 50% on track. You have known exactly what it is that you need to be doing. There are people who feel lost, who don't know what their purpose is. What should I do? I know I am created for a purpose, but I don't know what that purpose is. What am I supposed to be doing to be adding value to people? How can they go about reclaiming or discovering their purpose?
Ooh, I love that. And that's a big one because I was lost for a while as well. I got off path. I felt like I was in a hole and I was doing so much, but not a lot of meaning to it. So some things that you can do is really get quiet. Think about what you wanted to do when you were a child. What was the very first thing when you were like 8 years old? What did you want to do? I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to teach second grade, and I wanted to be a mom because I wanted to laugh and have fun, and kids bring me joy. And then you think about, well, what did you want to do in high school? And what did you do really well? What did you excel at? You know, listening to what makes you happy, there are clues, right? What makes you happy is probably something you're really good at. So think about your life, young, and then a little bit older, and then maybe into your 20s and maybe into your 30s. It's like, what did you want to be? And did you do it? You know, if you wanted to be, you know, a teacher, did you pursue that? And if you didn't, why not? And is it something you should pursue now? Because there are little breadcrumbs all along your life that you can follow, and they will lead you to your purpose. I do believe we all have a purpose, but I also believe that it changes. Because when I was younger, I wanted to be a teacher, I wanted to be a mom. And then I became a mom and I was so fulfilled. Like I told my husband, I'm like, my body was created to do this for a reason. I am so happy. And my daughter is older now and there's more for me to do. So I think, you know, your purpose changes as we age. When we're younger, we want the career and the house and, you know, you're climbing the corporate ladder maybe. And then as we get older, we're kind of looking for meaning and purpose and what are we going to give to the world? So, but don't listen to anybody else. Don't listen to, this is the only time I say don't listen to your parents. But only you know, you have to get really quiet and figure it out. You know, if somebody said, well, you're supposed to be a lawyer, and then you did that and you're not happy, not a way to live life.
True, you'll be living in their shadow, right? And
Right.
living in regrets.
Don't do it to make anybody else be proud of you. Do it because it's what you're meant to do.
I've heard of stories where a particular man, a young man at the time, was told what to do by his parents. You have to go and become a medical doctor.
Yep.
And deep within the young man, that's not what he wanted to do. But of course, out of reverence and fear of his parents or respect, he had to go and become a medical doctor. So at the end of the day, when he finished and graduated, he came back home and said, well, when they were celebrating his achievement and all of that, he came back and said, well, here's a certificate. I have studied medical, become a medical doctor for you as you wanted it. But this is a certificate, but I am choosing my path at this time. This is what I want to do. I don't want to practice. You want the certificate? Here it is. I am a doctor. Everyone knows it. So the pride goes to you, but that is not what I want to be doing. And how sad is that, right? So it's important for everyone to choose, parents to allow their kids to choose what they find fulfillment in doing, not just what the parents want them to do. What was the most memorable experience you have had working with women over 40?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. The best part for me is when I see the light go on and I'm coaching a client and there's a breakthrough and they get excited and I get excited and it becomes very easy from there, right? Because sometimes the silliest things will stop us. Fear. We're all afraid of certain things, but sometimes it's the silliest things that stop us from doing what we're supposed to do. And we get out of our own way. The retreats are so much fun. We laugh, we cry. I had a lady come to a retreat and she was stuck in a rut, right?
Yes.
She drove her car into a rut. It's almost like the energy of the universe. If you wake up and you're so grouchy and everything's bothering you, right? Someone cuts you off and then there's a long line at the grocery store and you have this negative energy, you're attracting more of it to you. Mm-hmm. Really are. So she was stuck in a rut and she drove right into it and we laughed about it. We laughed about it because that's what she brought to the table. It's just the aha. It's like you're meant to do more. Are you doing more? Let's get you to where you need to be because life is supposed to be amazing and fun and sometimes hard. But you just got to keep moving and get to the place where you want to go. And you have to let nothing should stop you.
Wow, I like what you said. Life is amazing. Life sometimes can be hard, but life is amazing. And it is true. From what you said, your mess became your message. So when life is being hard at you, it's only preparing you for the greater purpose that you are created to be fulfilling. So when you find yourself in a mess, leave the mess behind, but take the experience from the mess because it could be your message tomorrow. Thank you so much, Stephanie. It's been an awesome time talking with you on the show today.
You too.
And I believe that our guests have had some things to hold on to, especially those that may be facing one form of bullying or the other. They have heard from someone who has experienced that also. And today you are living a fulfilled life. You're living a better life, even than the life that you lived when you were working with corporate America. I know from what you've said, you're enjoying what you're doing right now, empowering women over 40. That's your purpose, and you're doing it and doing it very well. So our viewers, no matter the situation you find yourself currently, that is not the end. Don't give up. Leave that situation behind. Take the message that is in that situation that you can use to empower yourself or use to empower someone in the future. Thank you, and I hope to have you again some other time.
Thank you so much, Abraham. You're doing great things. I love what you're doing. Thank you for having me here. It's an honor.
You're welcome. Thank you.